My name is Rebecca Vaughn, and I am the president and founder of Creative Coach Company, the Fun Bus, with world headquarters right here in Lancaster, Ohio. In 1996, I had a crazy idea. In a desperate effort to get out of corporate healthcare, I went to the bank, I took out a loan, and I bought a party bus. Most people thought I was crazy, and I probably was. With no experience in the transportation industry, no experience in the travel industry, and only $800 in my pocket, I created the Fun Bus. I started with just one bus and 0 customers, and now with the help of a team of safe and professional drivers, we now operate 26 coaches in 48 states and 1 Canadian province. Over the past 23 years, I have been lucky enough to work with some of the safest, most reliable drivers I've ever met. I would like you to meet some of those drivers who have worked with me and have helped me grow this company from that one single bus to the company that we are today.
I'm Chuck. I've been with the Fun Bus since 2007. I drove school bus for almost 30 years before that. I got my license actually when I was a senior in high school. And so I've drove several years. I started out as a part-time driver for the first 8 months. Then went to and talked to the Fun Bus about going full-time. You know, my schedule, I get told where I'm going, unlike the part-time drivers. For the most part, I know 30, sometimes even 60 days out what my schedule is going to be, so I can plan accordingly on where my days off will be. You know, we get to a lot of traveling, meet great people. I've never met a stranger. By now I have several people I call friends that I haul all over the country, so it's like going on vacation with almost your family. So about 10 years ago, done a trip to Disney World. Lady on there got my attention. Long story short, by the time we got back 8 days later, we had our first date set up. I proposed to her 2 years later on a Fun Bus trip. And so she kind of knows what I do. So we got married, been married, actually used the Fun Bus trip to St. Simons as our honeymoon. We got paid to go on my honeymoon. Get to work every day, everything is paid for. I don't have to pay for any meals, hotels, and we're not staying at the low-end hotels. We stay in some really nice hotels. Every place the group's at, we're at. If Broadway shows, go to New York City, usually I go to probably 2, maybe even 3 Broadway shows every year, all paid for. I don't have to shell out of my pocket. We done a trip to Yellowstone. I had never been in the upper Midwest. And so we traveled 15 days. I got to do everything the group did, spend a day in Glacier National Park, day and a half, 2 days in Yellowstone. As far as the buses go, I drive the big buses more than anything. We got several size vehicles, but we jump seat to seat. It's not a big deal. We have full-time mechanics, 3 full-time mechanics that are great. I have a great relationship with them. We have problems, we get on if we're out on the road, get on the phone. They take care of it or get us somebody that can if we're very far away from home.
Hi, I'm Bill. I'm shop manager here at the Fun Bus. In 1998, I started with Rebecca when she first started the Fun Bus back in Junction City, and I was a driver. I went away from the Fun Bus for a while and I really missed it. She said that she possibly had another position for me because she would like for me to come back, and again, I would love to come back and work with the Fun Bus. Now I am the manager over at the Fleet Image Department. I've got some great mechanics I work with and some great guys that do the cleaning of the buses. And that's one thing that's really nice about the Fun Bus. As a driver, when you're done with your shift, you come home, you pull the bus in, you get out and you go home. We have guys that'll take it from there, they'll clean your bus, they'll take care of anything on the bus, and the next time you show up to work, your bus is clean and ready to go. Again, our mechanics will go over everything. They're real good, they're very knowledgeable, and they're very concerned with safety of the buses, safety of the passengers, and safety of everyone working on and around the buses. I was thinking that this would be maybe something part-time, but I'm actually getting to full-time now, and I really enjoy it, and I plan on being here a while.
My name's Tom. I've been with Fun Bus since 2012. The job I had before, I worked for 25 years, and I knew about 5 years out that when I left there, I wasn't going to be done working. I was just done working 50, 55 hours a week. So I knew that I was going to want to try Fun Bus because a friend of mine worked here at the time. The benefits of working here are really a lot of fun. You get to see things that you might not normally get to see, and you get paid to see them. I'm a sports guy, so I like to sporting events, and with Fun Bus, I've been to 6 different Big Ten stadiums, and I got to see the Big Ten championship game in 2014. And if you're an Ohio State fan, you know that was a pretty awesome game. I've also been to Louisville to see the Cardinals play over there. I've been to several Cincinnati games and Cleveland Browns games when we had tickets there. So for me, the sports part of it has been a big bonus. I also drive a school bus, and Rebecca knows that that's my first job. And she understands that, and she works around my schedule with the school bus. She does not expect me to come in here on days that I'm working the school bus. During those times, she respects those hours, and I'm here on the weekends, and during the summer, I get to do a lot more things. I've been to Florida 3 or 4 times with school groups. Just been a lot of different places that I normally wouldn't get to go to.
Hey, my name is Millie, and I'm one of the motor coach drivers for the Fun Bus. I've been driving here since June of 1998. I started off, my first career was driving a school bus. I drove there for 30 years, and then I started with the Fun Bus. It just gave me a bigger opportunity when I was ready to give up school bus driving to travel. When I first started driving for the Fun Bus, we only had 3 motor coaches. We have now grown to 25 vehicles, and so I've watched the company grow and mature, and there's been a lot of changes, only to the good. We've started out in small office space to where we are now, which is a much larger space. When I first started here, I'd only been in about 4 or 5 states. So this gave me the opportunity to do some traveling. I think one of my first big trips was to Pittsburgh. I had never been there before, so it was a little different to drive in a big city. But now I go everywhere. I go to New York, I've been to Florida, and I've been to St. Louis, Missouri, and Oklahoma City, and been to many, many places. I enjoy traveling. And one advantage of this, you get to travel and you get paid for doing it. You get to see I've seen many things that I would have never gone on my own to go see. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy traveling, like I said, and you get to meet people that you travel, then they continue to travel with you, so you get to meet and be friends with a lot of people. And this job, I've seen a lot of motor coach drivers that have to wear white shirts and ties. We don't. We just have casual white pullovers. We have to look professional, but we're comfortable. And I also have begun to work in the office. I've trained myself to work doing the scheduling in there, so that's another part of my job, so I can drive or work in the office, which I really like that. I enjoyed working for this company. We have a good crew that works here. If you're ever interested in driving for the Fun Bus, come on aboard.
I'm Dan, and I'm a Fun Bus driver. I've been driving charter bus for quite a while. I got my CDL when I was in graduate school. I was looking for a part-time job, and I wanted to study, but I also I couldn't be tied down to a tight schedule. So back when I lived in Texas, I got my CDL. Then I worked as a college professor, and I moved up here to Ohio, and I was looking for a summer job. One that was different than teaching summer school, because I wanted to get out and not be behind a desk, not be in front of my computer all day long. And I thought about, hey, I should drive coach bus again. So I applied to Fun Bus, and I got the job, and I've been here, a number of years. The greatest thing about working at Fun Bus is that it was a part-time job I could have that I could adjust around my schedule. If I wanted to pick up a wedding on a weekend, if I wanted to do a trip for a couple days or a week-long trip in the summer, I could do that. If I needed time with my family, I would just tell the scheduling person that it's like, yeah, I'm not available the next 2 weeks. Or like if I was busy teaching, I couldn't work any weekends because it was finals and I was grading. It's like, yeah, I can't drive right now, but you know what? I will be in after school gets out, and I'd start driving again. So that flexibility made it really great for me to earn some extra money. And also, I recently retired as a college professor. So I spent 30 years as a college professor, retired just over a year ago. And I was looking for something to keep me busy. And I tried a couple of other jobs, but the problem with those jobs and being a retired person is I didn't really want to be strapped down to their schedule. finding out when I would work next week, if it was 5 days or 6 days or 3 days or 4 days or whatever. I wanted to be able to fit it in with the other things I wanted to do now that I'm retired. And that flexibility is something that FunBus allows me to have and allows me to earn some money and also have a lot of fun. One of the best parts about working at FunBus is the perks. So as a driver, you get discounted tour tickets for trips that you want to take for you and one other person. So I was able to take my daughter to see a Disney Broadway show. I was able to take my family on a trip to Michigan one weekend and a trip to New York City too, on a discount that I can still ride as a customer and get to see the sights as well. Another thing about being at FunBus is that the people you work with here are some of the best that I've ever worked with in transportation. The years of experience, when you put all the drivers around a table together, it's just astounding. We come from a diverse group of backgrounds and a diverse set of jobs, because not all of our drivers are full-time, they have other jobs. And that makes, when you get to travel with another driver, it's interesting, it's fun. It's like being part of a family again when you see them again. Being a part-time driver is actually a pretty good job pay-wise. It's better than I made doing a variety of other jobs, clerk-like jobs, desk-type jobs for part-time work. Some of the best pay you can get, and the benefits of being a driver also carry over to being on your trip. You often get to see the same sights that your passengers are going to see, whether it's Amish country or a museum or a tourist destination. You get to see those along with the group for free. That's fantastic. And not only that, as a driver, your meals are paid for, which is not common to most transportation companies. So that really makes it very easy on me to be the best driver I can be when I'm not worrying about my meals, not worrying about where I have to stay, and also knowing that I get to see interesting places along the way. I think the thing that makes this a good place to work is the communication, because it's so easy to communicate with your supervisor or with another driver or with the shop or with the boss to help make the experience better for not just you, but for the customers and safer for everybody. And I think that's a really important part of being with a transportation company, is that you've got to be able to trust the equipment and you've got to be able to trust the staff. And that's never something that's in doubt here at FunBus.
Now that you've met several members of our team and you know a little more about the FunBus, maybe you too would like to become a FunBus driver. If you've dreamed about being a driver, whether it's across the country or just around town, we may have a place for you here on the FunBus team. Check out our online application at our website or stop by our terminal on East Main Street to fill out an application. We'd love to hear from you, we'd love to meet you, and remember, we pay to train.